Hey guys, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I certainly am. Oh, except for what's going on behind me here. Uh, you can see a little bit of reflection from the outside on the other side, but this window is covered up with black plastic because a guy was weed eating. I'm in an RV park right now. A guy was weed eating yesterday, caught a stone, and shattered my window. Oops. That'll be in an upcoming video. Today, here's what's happening. I spent the night at the best Cabela's I've ever been to. You'll get a view of that as I'm leaving in the morning. And then, when I got to my destination for the next night at a campground in Alabama, I serendipitously, I'm not quite sure I got that all out correctly, ran into a couple of friends of mine that normally I only see out west, so it was kind of a crack up. They were coming out as I was coming in, so we chatted for a bit and caught up, and I was able to get into the campground early. And the real deal was, I wanted to get in early because I had a bunch of stuff to do, including making this delicious stewed chicken that I'm going to share with you today. So stay tuned, and we're going to roll the intro in just a moment. As always, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. If you are subscribed, please double check to make sure that you still are. I'd really appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. Alright, let's roll the intro. Well, this has been the coolest Bass Pro Shop I've ever stayed in. I think it's only the second one I've ever stayed in. The parking lot is absolutely huge. There was another RV that pulled in right opposite me. Oh well. These people in the black car are obviously sleeping in their car. There's a van down there. And yeah, basically that was it. Huge parking lot. And you know, up in the trees like that, I felt like I was in a campground. Which I will be this afternoon.
Hi, big guy. Hi, big guy. Come here.
Blow the horn, blow the horn. He's blowing the horn, but he's not rolling up. He's not getting what I had seen.
Well, I hadn't seen her.
Him.
Oh,
Him.
him.
Come here. Come here.
Oh my goodness.
Come here, big guy. Come
Well,
on.
you'll get to know us later. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
but a lot
Hey.
of them don't like Dennis and his beard. We've traveled out west, and we're going to go hook up later out west.
What are the chances? Just randomly run into somebody. We weren't like coordinating our schedules.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, we will be.
Yeah. It was more the end of October that things was going to...
Yeah, so we're just like messing around until we get to Texas in October. I'm gonna get escorted to my site, which is not the site that I originally registered for. To my site because those people haven't not the site that I originally registered for. But she was able to get me another site. But she was that's also waterfront, and also she was able to get me another site. And I can get in early. It's 10 minutes of 1, and I can get in early. I'm not supposed to be able to check in until 4 o'clock. I'm not supposed to be able to check in until 4 o'clock. Pretty campground. Can't believe I ran into Debbie and Dennis here. That's just way too funny. Can't believe I ran into Debbie and Dennis here. That's just way too funny. Hey, what's going on, guys? Sally here. We're gonna be cooking because I'm in a campground with electricity, so it's easy for me to do that. I've also got the AC running, so hopefully the wind noise isn't going to be too bad. We're making stewed chicken today. It's comfort food. I haven't made this for a really long time, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really good. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what we got going on. Okay, first up we got the Instant Pot. There's the chicken. I'm using boneless, skinless thighs, and I've already seasoned one side with salt, pepper, and rosemary. And then for vegetables, we're going to be adding onion, carrots, celery, mushrooms, and potatoes, and frozen green beans. So this is going to turn into a pretty big pot of food that I'm going to be eating for probably the next 4 or 5 days. In fact, I may even wind up having to freeze a portion or two. I've got a portion of chili left from my last big cooking day that I'm gonna freeze as well. Okay, so first up, I've got the Instant Pot set on saute. I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. And then I'm gonna put the seasoned chicken in, season side down, because then I'll be able to season the other side. And it looks like we got 5 pieces here. So that'll be nice. You can do this with whole chicken as well, but I decided that if I chose a whole chicken, that was probably going to be too much chicken for me. So we're going to start browning the chicken. I'm going to season the other side. Salt, pepper, rosemary, and garlic is what I'm putting on the chicken. And then once that gets browned a bit, we'll pull that out, and then we'll start sauteing the vegetables. And then we'll keep going to get this dish put together. Okay, so with the chicken browned reasonably well, I'm not making it super brown because I don't want the chicken to be completely cooked before I put it back in the Instant Pot. I've got the onions in to saute now, and then I'm going to cut some potatoes in half so that they'll take roughly the same, actually as small as they are, I think I'm going to leave them whole. Yeah, so we're going to saute the onions for a little bit and then dump everything back in the pot and get this thing going. Got some better than bouillon chicken stock going here. I used probably a good sized tablespoon because I'm going to need about 3 cups of water, I think, to get this all done. Okay, you can see how we've got some little burn bits down here, and we're going to use the chicken stock by dribs and drabs to start deglazing that. We're going to pour a little in, and then we'll do a little scraping. And because I didn't make the chicken super brown, not going to take a whole lot to do that, but see how we're getting like a little bit of a brown tinge here? We're scraping up the bits that have cooked on to the bottom of the pot, and they'll just add more flavor for us. So yeah, I mean, that's basically all there is to this, guys. All right, let's get in the rest of this bit of chicken stock. And then we're going to dump in all the vegetables and dump the chicken back in. Give it a stir and we'll be good to go. Hang tight. We've got everything in the pot ready to go. We've got mushrooms, we've got potatoes, we've got green beans, carrots, celery, onions, chicken, and I put in about a tablespoon of parsley flakes because I like those with potatoes too. So we're going to put the lid on, and then we're going to set this to pressure cook. Oh, and it's close. We want 12 minutes this time, and it's going to start itself up, do its thing, and I got a little bit of a mess to clean up, not too much. Pretty tidy overall, actually, and I ended up with the 1 cup of chicken broth that I made, and then I just added in 2 more cups of water. And so we got about 3 cups of chicken broth, and I'm planning to thicken that up with a little arrowroot mix at the end. And here we are. 12 minutes of cook time, 12 minutes of natural release, and then I did the quick release for the rest of it. Now I'm going to confess what I kind of messed up. I forgot to do this. So I have this mesh basket that when I know I have to fish stuff out, I'll put the basket in the bottom, and usually I can lift out the basket and get almost everything out at once and leave the juice behind. But now I am going to have to painstakingly fish out all of the big pieces. I'm obviously not going to be able to get it all, but I'm going to get as much as I can and then make the gravy. Removed as much of the meat and vegetables as I can. There's still some left in there. Turned the Instant Pot back on to saute, and I'm waiting for it to kind of come up to a boil. I got about 3 tablespoons of arrowroot flour. You can use cornstarch, arrowroot flour. You can use, you can make a roux by cooking flour with butter. But basically what you want to do is get something that's going to thicken the gravy up. So as soon as this comes back up to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and dump this in, and we're getting pretty close already. Dump this in, and then we'll get the gravy thickened up, and then mix everything back in together. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and dump this in. And then we'll just stir for a while until we get the consistency we're looking for. Yeah, we're gonna let this boil for just a couple of minutes, see what consistency we get, and then we'll dump everything back in, mix it all together, and I'll have food for a few days. Okay, we've thickened up quite a bit in just a couple of minutes, and I think I'm going to call that good, because when I reheat it in subsequent days, it will it'll thicken up again. It'll thicken up more as time goes by. So now I'm just going to put all the stuff back into the Instant Pot and let it sit here until I'm ready for dinner, which is not quite yet, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all plated up. Okay, it's time to dish up, and it's super noisy because the AC is running. So I've got a handful of power grains here. It's kale and chard and spinach and maybe something else, can't remember. So I'm putting a handful of greens in the bottom of the bowl, and I'm going to ladle all of the stew on top. And I'm going to just let that sit there like that for a minute, and my greens will wilt. And then I'll stir them up, and they'll be wilted but not overcooked.